5 prominent black women are suing Hulu to stop the release of the Freaknik documentary. D.L. Hughley says that's only going to make people want it more. What up, words? Your boy Challz Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. So we've been talking about Freaknik for quite a few weeks now. I want to say about a week or two. Everybody got something to say about Freaknik this, Freaknik that. But there are a couple females, no males, 5 prominent females that do not want this documentary released. And if you don't know what prominent means, that means people that are professional people, like lawyers, judges, doctors. For some reason, they feel like it's going to put them in a bad light to their kids and their profession now, to their colleagues and their peers, people who are looking at them in a certain kind of way. And it's been a whole ride. It's been mad funny watching this play out. But as you know, Hulu's dropping a documentary. I want to read this article and we're going to get into the commentary, all right? Hulu has a documentary coming out about Freaknik that has our aunties, uncles, and parents expressing their concerns in the form of a lawsuit. Earlier this month, Hulu teased the upcoming documentary Freaknik, The Wildest Party Never Told. The documentary highlights the infamous Spring Break Festival that swept the 90s and had many in a chokehold. Taking place in Atlanta, Georgia each year, swarms of people, primarily students from HBCUs, would flock to the city and turn up Uncle Luke style until the festival ended in 1999. Now the generation will get to see what exactly went down and led to Freaknik's demise when Hulu releases the documentary, which was executive produced by Uncle Luke Campbell himself. I didn't know Luke was doing this. This has everything now. This is everything. And Luke already beat the law before, so he ain't scared. But not everyone is on board with the documentary release. A group of black women professionals comprised of 1 politician, 3 high-level corporate executives, and 1 judge have lawyered up and are threatening to sue Hulu in hopes of stopping the documentary's release. One woman, a married mother of 3 who makes over $1 million annually, believes the documentary shows her in an unflattering light, and there are already videos circulating online she doesn't want her children to see. The Ricky Smiley Morning Show discussed the possible lawsuit and thinks the debate of fair use could come into play about the Freaknik footage that is over 25 years old. Some who attended Freaknik have taken to social media to express their concern about the documentary's release. One woman posted a TikTok video that went viral with one person claiming that all the Freaknik aunties are scared. That's her thing. Others recalled Officer Thaddeus Lloyd, who was suspended with pay in 2012 after a graphic throwback photo of his behavior at the 91 Freaknik surfaced online. The new documentary is slated for a mid-April 2024 release, which will mark the 30th anniversary of the famed 1994 Freaknik celebration. 30 years. If you are from my generation, my era, then you know what Freaknik was about. Even if you didn't go, you heard the stories, you saw the pictures, you saw who went and who came back, and you knew people that went and you knew what went down. And if you went, it was a whole lot of turn up. Now, what they're doing right now is they're showing a lot of videos of guys running rampant after these women, grabbing them, groping them, touching them. It wasn't just about that, but that did happen. Women were, if they were scantily clad or maybe just kind of sexy, they didn't have to be scantily clad. Dudes was on them and it got to a point where they felt they can grab them and do whatever. And I'm sure there was a lot of, I'm not going to say a lot, but there was some illegal things that went on in regards to men and women relationships down in that Freaknik. But I say that to say it was a big party, a lot of drinking, a lot of fun, just a loud boom. It was like everybody was turning up. They were stopping traffic. The traffic couldn't move. That's what happened with that's why they initially ended Freaknik. It got so bad. Like the last 2-3 years, like it was so much blocking of traffic that the city would shut down. They were trying to shorten the days of it. They were putting curfews. They were doing all kind of stuff because it was making headlines. Every time it happened, it became like just a fest of N-words just acting ridiculous, right? And it was fun until it wasn't. And it became a point where, all right, we got to shut this down. This is goofy. And it was making us look really bad to a degree. Now, a lot of these women are looking at that. They were there. They did a lot of stuff. And this was a place where you could turn up. There wasn't no social media. There weren't no cell phone cameras. There was none of that. It was, you had to pull out the big brick video camera and film it, or the little handhelds or whatever. But you had to have a physical camera, a second camera. Your phone wasn't going to get it, right? So people felt a lot freer to do a lot of things that they probably wouldn't have done. A lot of chicks went down there. You know how females act at like a bachelorette party. They just do things that no one's going to see. So they really let their freak flag fly. So a lot of that happened down there. And a lot of these women who let their flag fly ended up being upstanding citizens and ended up being able to make a living after they graduated from these HBCUs and all these other things going on, because everybody wasn't from college. When that thing blew up to a certain point, it was the hood down there. It wasn't even college people no more. It was just everybody was coming from all over just to be freaks, right? But some of these women graduated and actually went on to have stellar careers and be stand-up citizens. And now, 30 years later, this ghost is coming back to haunt. Now, who wants their ghost coming out the closet? No one, right? No one wants that, especially now when the way they try to cancel you and take away everything you have for a tweet you said when you was 14. Everything matters now. It doesn't matter your age. They're going to go back and try to find you and try to at you and cancel you. So it's like weird, and it is a weird space. So I understand these women's concerns. But a documentary is just that. It's a document. It is supposed to bring truth to something. Whatever the topic is, it's supposed to be unbiased, uncut, unfiltered. It's supposed to bring you all of the facts of it and let you decide, right? Documentary is supposed to bring all of the facts. It's not supposed to be slanted one way or the other, which sometimes they are, but they're supposed to not put a slant on it. They're supposed to just be all facts. Drop it on you, boom, make it entertaining. How many, maybe 3 episodes, 2, well, I don't know. Make it enough to make you want to say, at the end of it, and make up your own mind and your own decision. Them trying to block it, to me, is kind of suspect. That's, first of all, freedom of speech. Second of all, a documentary is, they're right, it's a fair use thing. You should be using clips and footage of actual news. So if they use clips and footage of actual news and videos that were given to them by the creators or the owner of the video, I don't understand how you can actually stop a documentary. It makes no sense to me. Now, they could be saying, I want the scene that I'm in out, which is going to make it even worse, because if they try to single out a scene, this movie's already created. So they're going to have to figure out what scene you're talking about, and they have to go to court with that scene, which immediately going to get leaked, right? So they're not even trying to deal with one scene or two. They're trying to stop the whole movie. I think that's kind of, that's counterproductive to what we as Americans, right, as U.S. citizens, are supposed to be able to do. We're supposed to be able to tell stories. That's why they're in all this drama now, trying to make it where you can't say slavery and this and that. They're trying to block the past and change it because they claim it's going to be embarrassing, right? It's a slippery slope when you start saying you can't tell what really happened because somebody's going to get embarrassed by it. That is really, really a slippery slope, and that's really goofy to me, because the simple fact of it's history. It happened. You can't change it. It happened in public. You didn't do it in private. This is all public knowledge. Freaknik was public. These videos are public. Half this stuff is already on the news. Half of it is online already on YouTube. So they're going to get some archives, but for the most part, everybody knew what happened there. They're just going to detail it better, and Luke is going to have some footage of his own and what have you. And D.L. Hughley himself finds it to be absolutely ridiculous. He said that people are going to want to see it more. All it's going to do is build the anticipation. So I agree with D.L. Hughley. I don't think that these women are going to win this case, but sometimes if you got enough power in certain places, you can manipulate other people to do your bidding, for lack of a better word. And who knows, they may be able to stomp this out and stifle it. But to me, it's 30 years old, Mom. All it's going to do is be a little bit embarrassing. So I don't know what unless they did some crazy, you know what I'm saying? Unless there's footage of them which can't make it to the movie anyway if it's that crazy, right? So it's 30 years later, man, right? It's 30 years later. I don't know what you expecting, right? To be clean forever. And at the end of the day, some of these people gonna be illegible. You're not gonna be able to tell who they are. Let's just be honest. They still ain't find the dude that was talking about, told the girl that he's circulating on Twitter, telling the girls if you dress like a certain kind of way, don't be crying when you get raped or you get assaulted. We don't want to hear that because it's your fault. He's on a video from 1994 that came out that's on YouTube right now. I'm sorry, not YouTube. It's on Twitter. Everybody's up in arms, but they ain't found him yet. So there's no guarantee that you're going to get exposed or outed or things like that. And at the end of the day, it's history, right? And I get it. These prominent women don't need it for their careers, but some of these people are going to eat off this. Some of these guys and some of these women from this, they're going to use that to their advantage and start. Their page is going to blow up. You're going to find about 5 to 10 brand new, right? Social media people that wasn't nothing last year. And all of a sudden they're going to be Freaknik Sammy or, you know what I'm saying? Freaknik Tasha or something crazy. At the end of the day, it's going to be funny. It's going to be a story for a week and a half, and it's going to move on. So I don't know why you're trying to block it or what have you. This thing is not about you. It's not saying your name. It's not directing it at you, right? Unless they are, but I doubt that. Now, simple fact, it's a documentary. The more you try to stop it, the more when it comes out, it's going to have more fuel and gas. This thing is already on 10 right now. They could drop it now and make a killing, but they wait until next year. So I don't know, but let me know what you think in the comments. Should these women get their way and stop this documentary from happening, or is this really an invasion of their privacy and it's going to ruin their image to their kids and their grandkids, and it should be stopped? Let me know what you think in the comments. CLBMG. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
CLB.